I'm James Walker, and this is Real Talk, Real People. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us again this week. I announced a couple of weeks ago that I wanted to talk about crime on this episode. In particular, I wanted to talk about juvenile crime. And then as I sat down to record, kind of dawned on me this is Thanksgiving week. Who wants to hear about crime during the week that we're supposed to be giving thanks for the things that are in our lives? And I really had to kind of think, what am I thankful for? It has been a rough 2 years for most people. The pandemic has been particularly tough on minority communities, particularly tough on senior citizens. But even with that, I think most people have something that they are thankful for. And I have a lot of things to be thankful for. Number one, my family. And I have one brother and five sisters. And, you know, during the pandemic, they really have kept me going, so to speak, because we're all scattered around. We're in Rhode Island, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Virginia, Rhode Island. So we really are kind of scattered around. And I just happen to be someone who lives alone. So family is very, very important to me, and getting together with family is very important to me. And we do that. We do that every Wednesday and Saturday through Zoom. On Wednesdays, we have what we call our game night, where we get together and play trivia or whatever game, Jeopardy, whatever game we come up with. And then on Saturdays, we have what we call our family cookout, where we decide on what we're going to cook, and each of us prepares that meal, and we kind of eat together virtually on Saturday evenings. So there is, my family are just huge, huge part of my life, and I am very, very thankful for them. And as you get older, and I should say, for in my family, there are many of us who have crossed the age of 60, and I have three younger sisters who are rapidly approaching that age. So those are the ages where little complications set in, age-related illnesses, and so forth. But even with all that, we're all pretty much healthy, and we're all still around and eager to get together with one another. So, family is just huge in my life, and I'm just very grateful for them. And in particular, I shouldn't say in particular, but I'm really, really, really thankful for my brother Alan. You folks don't know, but I sit here, I talk to people, and I interview them, and then I get everything together and I send it off to him. And he's the one that actually puts all this together. He wrote the music for Real Talk, Real People, the introduction to that. He also wrote the introduction to Adversary to Ally, the new feature here on Real Talk, Real People. So, though you see me and I'm the face of this podcast, I really couldn't do it without without my brother Alan, and also feedback from my sisters who don't hesitate to tell me whether they liked the podcast, whether they thought it was good, what they thought should have been added to it, or what they think should be the next step. So even though, again, I'm the face, it seems that it's almost like a family affair, and I'm just very grateful for that. I'm also very happy about the new, or I should say, thankful about the new feature that we have here on Real Talk, Real People, and that is Adversary to Ally. And that is a once a month conversation, the third Monday of the month, where we discuss domestic violence and intimate relationship violence. And why is that important to me? Because I've written a book called Dead Windows about domestic violence and growing up in that situation. And so this is a topic that is very important to me. And I was very pleased when we did our first episode last week, the number of people who downloaded the episode or tuned in to listen to the episode. So I was very pleased to note that there is really some interest there. And I'm very happy that Karina Martin, who is the founder of Mothers of Victims Equality, came to me and asked if we could partner on this because she is someone who domestic violence has affected her life, and she really wanted to get some messages out there. And for us, the big message was we wanted to hear from men. We wanted to hear what men had to say about domestic violence and intimate relationship violence. So we were very pleased with the inaugural episode and the number of people who tuned into it. In fact, I'm very thankful that 2 years after our initial episode, we did our first episode in October of 2019, and here it is November of 2021. And I'm just very thankful that people find us interesting and they continue to tune in every week and download or listen to the episode. I get messages, great podcast, good podcast, or interesting subject, and I just find that, and I'm very grateful for that because we're not professional in the sense that we have sponsors and money and all of that. It's nothing like that. It's again, it's me. I go out, I get people to talk about certain subjects, and that's it. It's very, very amateur. There's no money, there's no sponsors, so that people continue to tune in is something I'm very grateful for and something I am truly, truly very thankful for. And the other thing I'm very thankful for is my manuscript, Dead Windows. I first wrote this like 20 years ago, and it was a very difficult time for me. And domestic violence and leaves a lot of PTSD, and that really kind of bothered me for a long time. So I about 20 years ago, I sat down and I wrote out my feelings about what it was like to grow up in this kind of situation, and then I put it on the back burner. And to be truthful, the reason why I put it on the back burner was because I sent out some queries to see if I could get an agent or a publisher interested in my manuscript. And I kept getting pretty much the same feedback that it wouldn't sell. They didn't know how they could position it in the marketplace. Um, whether that's true or not, I don't know. The paranoid part of me kind of says, they looked and saw a black man's experience growing up in a domestic violence situation and just automatically assumed that it would not sell. But, the good thing about having family, and particularly a family who understands what you went through, is that there are now different outlets to publishing a manuscript. And my family has really kind of gotten around, kind of gotten around me and said, "Hey, self-publish. It'll still be out there. Your story will still get told." So that is something that I'm definitely going to do. And I look to have the first 50 pages of the manuscript up on my website, jameswalkermedia.com, in December. The manuscript is finished, but I got some feedback from, again, a family member, my sister Shameen, and she thought that I needed to include certain elements. So I'm in the process of including those elements into the manuscript. And again, I hope to have it up. In fact, there's no hope to it. I will have it up by Christmas time this year. The other thing I'm very thankful for are my friends, and I just happen to have some really, really good friends, and they all happen to be younger than me. I'm an old guy. These guys happen to be a lot younger, and why they want to hang around me, I don't know. But every so often they give me a call. Hey, I'm on my way. I'm picking you up. We're gonna have dinner. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that, and that's really. It's really a good feeling for an old guy to have these young guys, go out of their way to drive up. Some of them live in Norwalk, for example, and they drive from Norwalk to New Haven just to take me out to have a beer or to have dinner. That's that's pretty decent, and when you consider that some of these guys were people who worked under me when I was the city editor of the Hour newspapers, and I really rode them hard. It really just it's a good feeling to know that they respected me and how I helped guide them. And that's what they tell me when they come pick me up. And, they're showing their appreciation for the relationship we had when I was the city editor and they were reporters working under me. The other thing I am very thankful for and really very grateful for are the number of readers who have stayed in contact with me. For those of you who don't know, I wrote a Sunday column for years for the New Haven Register and for that matter, for all Hearst, Connecticut newspapers. Every Sunday, I wrote a column. And a lot of those readers have been. I stopped writing the column in June of this year so that I could concentrate on the podcast and on my manuscript. And a number of readers have just continued to give me a call, inquire about my well-being. And when you think that these people don't know me personally, they know me from my column, and that column had such an impact that people continue to reach out to me just to talk and find out what I'm doing. It is just really something to be very, very thankful for. So, in a nutshell, for me, what do I have to be thankful for? Family, good health, my podcast, my manuscript, good friends, and again, people who I most that I've never met, but remain in contact with me due to the column that used to appear in the paper every Sunday. Those are things to really be thankful for. And that is what I am thankful for during this Thanksgiving week. Now, I can tell you that, there are a whole lot of things I'm not thankful for. Like I'm sure that is the case with a lot of people. And I could actually fill this podcast with more things that I'm not thankful for than I am thankful for. But again, this is Thanksgiving week. And this is the week we are showing, or I should say, this is the week that we are thankful for the good things that we have in our life. And I certainly uh, have to say that I have a lot of good things in my life. So, folks, I hope it's the same for you. I hope you eat a lot of turkey, though I know that from people that I've talked to that a lot of people are not putting turkey on the table this year due to the expense. I could go into a whole episode about the expense of turkeys and and what it is costing this year. In fact, food period. But everybody knows that there's no reason to talk about that. You folks, I hope you have a great Thanksgiving. I hope there is a turkey on your table, and we will talk again next week. Have a great week.